For some reason, I'm not on speaker. I don't know why I'm not on speaker. Give me a second here.
Chairman, can I ask you a question as well?
What's that?
When did you want me to give an overview of the WSP proposal? Early, I guess, in my little report.
You can do that under new business.
Okay, very good.
Just give me a second. For some reason, I'm not on speaker. I'm on my phone with something. All right, Dan, can you hear me?
Sure can, Chairman.
All right, I'm good. I'm on now. All right. We're all ready?
Yes, sir.
Everybody's here?
Yes.
All right, so before we start, you're gonna do roll call, and then you're gonna announce who's present, correct?
Yes.
All righty. All right, ready when you are.
Okay. Through you, Chairman, I'd like to call this meeting to order, and if everybody can stand for the salute of the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So roll call of officers. Chairman Nolan?
Here.
Commissioner Brzezinski?
Is he showing up as here?
Yeah, he is here.
You need to unmute.
If you are if you are a commissioner, please unmute yourself so you can participate. Are we having some technical issues there? One second. Doesn't show that he's muted. For the record, we do see that Commissioner Brzezinski is on and present for this meeting. Hopefully he will resolve the audio difficulties on his end. Moving on to Commissioner Abby.
Here.
Commissioner DeAgostino. Here. And our panelists for this meeting include the CFO, William Brennan, Custodian of Records, Ms. Carol Burns, our Recycling Director, Paul Matacera, our Consulting Engineer, Mike McClelland, and Executive Director, Jim Polos.
Very good, thank you.
So, Sunshine Law Statement, this meeting today conforms with Chapter 231 of Public Law from 1975 called the Open Public Meetings Act. And as per the requirements of the statute, notification of the meeting was published in the Star Ledger and Home News Tribune and filed with the Clerk of Middlesex County.
Thank you very much. All right, Jim Polos, do we have any correspondence?
No, we don't, Chairman.
Chairman, if I may, you did receive a letter from former Commissioner Delgado, if you'd like to express to the board the content of his letter.
Yes, Mr. Delgado has decided to resign because he's got a new position with the state with a lot of responsibility. The marijuana commission or something it's called, I forget. But anyway, so he's decided to resign, and I have requested the freeholders to appoint somebody in his place. So we will be shorthanded again for a while. Any other correspondence?
The only thing is, which has been circulated, is the recycling report, which I'm sure Paul will speak about.
Okay. So we'll do, I guess we'll do that. And then, Anne, are you going to do a redevelopment report after that?
Yes. So we're going to move on to item 5 of the agenda, which includes the committee reports. Included in the board packet was a financial report. I don't think we have any more details to add as it's been reviewed by the commissioners. Moving on to the recycling report, if Mr. Matissaro would like to express some highlights at this point in time, you may do so.
Hello?
Paul, you out there?
I'm here.
We can hear you.
Someone unmute me.
You're
We can hear, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. Mr. Chairman and members of the commission, good evening. Nice to talk to you. Enclosed, you'll find our monthly operational report for recycling. Everything is going along smoothly. We are in the process of developing specifications for a new contract for what do you call it? Yard waste, except grass, etc. So we're anticipating trying to go out with that specification sometime in May. We don't have a specific date yet, but it looks like we're trying to do that in May, just to keep for a for a bid and then an award later. Like say July but we want to start that contract in coinciding with the contract we have now, September 1st. That's just an update. Other than that, everything else is going along okay in our time of COVID.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Paul. And the redevelopment report?
Yes, so highlighting the Cancer Pavilion project first. The project design has moved into the construction document phase. In addition to the site development activities have begun, including asbestos abatement and building demolition. The following reviews, permits, and approvals have been obtained: demolition permit, freehold soil approval, preliminary final site plan approval from the New Brunswick Planning Board, along with sidewalk closure permits from the City of New Brunswick and FAA approval. The following activities were completed or underway with some of the site development for this project, which includes, once again, demolition. The pre-demolition activity continues on the building's exterior, and relocation of electric service lines, which is planned and engineered with PSE&G in the process of regarding the relocation of overhead electric lines as well as planned utility connections to the building. To go over the project schedule, it has not changed from my first report, and the major project schedule milestones include commencing excavation, July 2021, commencing the structure, April 2022, building enclosed, goal date of January 2023, with substantial completion completed on July 2024. Moving on to our Jersey Avenue School project. The project has proceeded into the design development phase. The architect is proceeding with the design development phase of the project. Design work required for entitlements include NJDEP treatment works approval and water main certification, along with the Freehold Soil Conservation District soil erosion and sediment control permits. The project milestones include the following: commencing excavation from June 2021, commencing the structure December 2021, along with the building being enclosed by October 2022, with substantial completion goal date of August 2023. So those are the two for the redevelopment projects that we have underway. I think our executive director wanted to touch upon the WSP proposal, which relates to one of the resolutions we have before the board for presentation tonight. So this might be a good time for Jim to discuss the WSP.
That's fine. Chairman, would you like me to do the new business items we spoke about?
Sure, yes.
So I have two items, one that was just mentioned by Ann, but before I do that, on a much more somber note, I would just like to take a moment to recognize an individual who served as a liaison from the Board of Freeholders to the Improvement Authority for a number of years. More importantly, served as a freeholder for the great county of Middlesex, former councilman, council president in the township of Piscataway, and a very, very dedicated public servant to the county and to his constituents. As many of you know, Kenny Armwood passed away at a very young age, unexpectedly, a couple of short weeks ago. And I can tell you on a personal note, I had the pleasure of knowing him way back to his days when he was with the American Red Cross. And at that time, we were developing school safety plans, and that was when I first met Kenny. He came to the first meeting that we had. It was post the Columbine incident, and his passion for trying to work with us to help protect children was just so palpable. And that passion certainly was something that was a thread in every action that he took. He was a great orator, a wonderful speaker, was certainly able to get his message across. And he kind of had a mantra that you got to do something. You got to get involved. He just believed that you roll up your sleeves and you make it work in one way, shape, or form, and complaining is not an option. And he certainly demonstrated that in the service to the county, certainly in the service to the Improvement Authority, always at the ready. And I know I speak for Chairman Nolan and the rest of the board when I tell you that he was a strong supporter of the IA's work, always available to us, and certainly gave us his full support when we needed it at the county level. And again, I know I speak on behalf of the entire board when we mourn his loss, and we certainly pray that his memory will be eternal. And we certainly pray for his family members and friends, all of whom know that this was a significant loss to us all. And with your permission, Chairman, I think we would just ask for a moment of silence in his memory.
Yes, let's do that.
Thank you, everyone. May his memory be eternal. The second item that I have, as per the chairman, I'll share with you now, and thank you, Ann, for the intro with respect to WSP, is that our major accomplishment, our major item for this evening is the appointment of WSP USA to serve as our conceptual designer and preliminary engineer for the train station. As many of you know, and those of you who may be watching this at some point, the train station in North Brunswick has been something that's been talked about for years. And we've been very fortunate in Middlesex County that New Jersey Transit, and along with Amtrak, but in particular New Jersey Transit and the state have designated the Middlesex County Improvement Authority as the construction management team and the project manager for the development of this new train station. I can tell you that in the few short months that we've been involved, and it certainly is moving quickly, we have developed and forged an enormously solid working relationship with the experts at Transit and also at Amtrak at all levels, legal, engineering, design. We have very productive monthly meetings, which is helping, and I'll use the expression, help move this project down the track in a very expeditious way. Their cooperation has been really unbelievably solid, and we appreciate that, and I want to publicly acknowledge that. WSP team was selected by a group of individuals who was put together with technical expertise to review the submissions that we received from several highly qualified firms. However, the technical evaluation team was unanimous in recommending WSP USA as they provided the best technical proposal and design schedule consistent with our RFP. For those of you who don't know, WSP USA is a globally recognized firm with deep roots in transportation, planning, and design. Their outstanding team demonstrated extensive experience with Amtrak and New Jersey Transit, both locally and nationally, included references from both agencies. Additionally, WSP USA has extensive experience working on the Northeast Corridor, and of course, that is where our project is centered. And they presented solutions that anticipated design changes, which likely will have to occur as we move ahead with the project. They will also provide conceptual designs and alternatives for our consideration. Part of our plan is to not only look at what we think we need to do, but use their expertise to help us determine whether we can tweak it in some way, shape, or form to make it even better for the end users. And lastly, WSP's cost proposal was best represented, the scope of work identified by the MCIA. The total project award is $3,199,272 for phase 1 and phase 2. And phase 1 and phase 2 really are the original portions of our conceptual engineering, and it will also deal with, again, some of the conceptual designs, project definition reports, et cetera. Phase 2 really covers 30% of the design of the entire project, and that type of work includes site inspections, environmental procurement, additional design, geotechnical investigations, right-of-way engineering, utility engineering. Utilities are a big portion of this project, so it's a significant element of the design phase. And of course, the value engineering to ensure that there's an effective interagency coordination. This project, again, is a partnership between not only the developer of the property, who is providing some land and so forth for things like the ticket booth and parking, but it's also a very strong partnership between New Jersey Transit and Amtrak. And of course, we'll need approvals from agencies like the Federal Railroad Administration, et cetera. But I can tell you, Chairman and members of the board, that this is a great partnership with excellent communication, outstanding cooperation, and I'm very, very optimistic that we're going to be able to move this project forward in good fashion and accomplish a great new opportunity for the citizens of Middlesex County.
Well, that's great news, Jim. I'm very excited. I think all the members of the board are very excited. This is a great project for Middlesex County, obviously for North Brunswick, for Middlesex County, and it's nice to see that it's moving ahead and on schedule. So thank you very much. Do you have anything else, Jim?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay, and resolutions?
Yes, so discussion of resolutions include item 8A, which is a resolution to award an engineering and design services contract for the North Brunswick Train Station Development Project.
Great. All right, let's see. We have minutes, so we want to approve the minutes. I'd like a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion, Christine.
And a second.
Second, Paul.
All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? None?
I
So
think,
that will,
once again, Chairman, our Commissioner Wazinski is having some audio issues. So for the minutes, I'm not sure how to capture his vote, although he's present. Maybe you could put it in.
He can write it, can he?
What?
Can he write them in?
Yeah, it was, there's a chat. Silvio, is there a chat option?
Not in this meeting.
Okay.
Oh.
right. Can somebody, Jim, can you call him on the phone? Jim Polos?
Yes. Yes,
Can you
Chairman,
call
I'll
him
call
on the phone,
him.
please?
I'll call him.
Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. I'd rather capture the vote in real time as opposed to have him abstain for technical issues.
Sure, I'm trying to reach him right now.
Thanks.
Hi, Tony. That's all right. If I'm going to put you on speakerphone, and perhaps they'll be able to hear you through my mic. Okay, I'm going to try that. Hold on a moment. Tony, can you try to say something? See if Ann can hear you. Hello?
I heard him say hello.
Go ahead, Ann. Tony, try that again.
So to confirm, we have a motion on the table, whether or not he would approve the resolution to award the engineering design services contract.
Yes. Go ahead one more time, Tony.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Wazinski and Executive Director.
All right, I'm sorry, and we didn't have a vote on that. We
Oh,
voted
sorry, not yet.
We
I
voted,
jumped the gun for the minutes.
okay, we voted on the approval of the minutes.
Thanks, Chairman.
So ask him, please.
I
if he
approve.
approves. Okay, there you go. So now everybody's in favor of the minutes.
Right.
So now we will do public comments on the resolution. This is public comments on resolutions only. We will have a public session towards the end, but this is for public comments on resolutions only. So do we have any hands up?
There is a hand up.
All right.
Allow that individual to speak.
Is that you, Charlie?
How'd you know?
It's just a lucky guess. Welcome, Charlie. How are you?
I'm doing all right, thanks. Good to be with you. Yep. I do want to just say, I may be the only person trying to speak tonight, but you should mention for the record, *9 is how you raise your hand if you want to speak. And I just had a couple questions about this resolution. So, can you tell me how WSP was selected? Was there a RFP or a public bidding process?
Jim?
Yes, certainly, Chairman. Through the Chairman, absolutely. Yes, there was a process that was followed for the solicitation of proposals, Charlie, and we received several from, as I said earlier in my remarks, very reputable companies. There was a technical evaluation team that was assembled to review and analyze specifically the technical elements of it, not the financial elements of their proposal. And based on the RFP, to determine whether or not their proposal comports with what the recommendations are in the RFP and what the goals are, the design schedules, et cetera, of that RFP. Once the technical evaluation team was able to make that determination, the top firm was selected, and at that point they were able to discuss with them their financial proposal to be able to work out the most efficient cost for the level of service that was being provided.
Thank you. You mentioned the total value of the contract being nearly $3.2 million, and this being for phase 1 and 2. Can you give me any insight onto the timeline for phase 1 and 2 and the timeline for the ultimate, completion of the project?
Yeah, I don't have a timeline on ultimate completion. I can tell you that phase 2 alone will take approximately a year from the completion of phase 1. Phase 1 will likely be a few months process to go through the initial design and concept issues. One of our first orders of business in all candor, Charlie, will be to have the professional meet with our partners at Amtrak and Transit. We're actually creating a technical subcommittee of the monthly committee that we have so that they can meet the team at WSP and start to talk about the engineering and design details. And then it'll be likely a couple of months for them to come back with their reports and concepts.
Okay. Maybe could you tell me how many phases there will be total? You got 1 and 2 lined up. Are there going to be 2 more, 3 more?
There'll be four complete phases. Phase 4 will take us right to the project, to the bid at the conclusion of phase 3, final engineering. So there'll be a couple more phases thereafter.
All right. Thanks so much for answering my questions. That's all on that.
And let me just also mention that we're also following the rubric that's provided to us by New Jersey Transit with respect to the time frame, the phasing of the project, the funding of it, and so forth. That's in some respects what drives our scheduling as well.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, Charlie. Okay, so Ann, how about those resolutions?
Okay, so now we have on the agenda the approval of resolutions, item 8A. So may I have a
motion?
Second.
All right, I have Tony Rosinski on the line, if you can hear.
All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
all right.
None opposed? That shall pass. We have payment of vouchers, so a motion to pay vouchers.
Motion, Paul.
Second, Christine.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
None opposed? That will pass. All right, Charlie, time for the public session. Is there anybody else? Just put your hands up and see what we got.
Yeah, and to Charlie Cradaville's testament, there is an option for those who are listening in. If you'd like to participate in the public session, you may press *9. We will see you virtually raise your hand and call on you in order in which your hands are raised.
All right, thank you.
So,
Do we have somebody?
Yes.
Yes,
Sir.
Chairman.
Okay.
Yes, Charlie Cradaville once again. As you know, I'm the editor of New Brunswick Today, community newspaper here, available online at newbrunswicktoday.com. I'm also a resident of the city. And I do want to thank the executive director for his comments about Commissioner Ken Armwood. And I just want to say rest in peace, and he will be missed. Absolutely. So a couple things. I didn't really hear the financial report that was on the agenda, and I'm curious, how the finances are of the organization, and also to that point, whether or not you've come to any conclusion about whether you're going to provide refunds to the towns who you were unable to meet the schedule for recycling pickups. I know New Brunswick missed at least one pickup and had to adjust because of that. Do you have any insight into that or the general finances of the authority?
Jim Polos?
Sure, Chairman. Charlie, the financial reports are provided to the board, and of course, we're in the process of our auditing process, which we do every year with an outside accounting firm. I can tell you that the Improvement Authority is in good fiscal order. We have a great team, and they work diligently to make sure that we watch every dollar and make every expenditure in a judicious way. With respect to the potential refunds for the towns that were affected, I will tell you that those discussions are ongoing. It's been, needless to say, I think mostly for the communities, a very, very busy time between COVID and other things that are going on. There's been applications and grant dollars and vaccination clinics, et cetera. And I do believe that to some extent, a lot of that has just pushed the issue perhaps a little bit lower on the agenda, but I can assure you it hasn't been eliminated or washed off the agenda. I just think it's been a matter of time element on the part of the communities, and we're happy to work with them and reach a resolution, and I believe that will be the case.
Okay.
Charlie, as you know, I mean, those reports are all available. They're all public records, and if you have a lot of free time on your hand, you feel free to open them. We'll get them to you.
Okay, thank you. I just might do that. I do want to also make some remarks about the redevelopment work you're doing. It's very much a cause for concern here in the community, where you can come see it for yourself on Somerset Street between Hardenberg and Division. You can watch a public school being destroyed with the blessing of this board. You all enabled that, and this week the students in New Brunswick returned to public schools for the first time in over a year, and every one of those schools reopened except the one that you've greenlit for destruction. And so instead, those children, instead of being able to walk to their school, they had to get on buses and get taken to a warehouse building that has structural issues across from a chemical factory and the unemployment office at a dangerous corner in the industrial part of New Brunswick. And sad to report that earlier today, just before 2 p.m., there was a shooting on one of the streets there, Van Dyke Avenue, in broad daylight. And, this is what the children of the 5th Ward of New Brunswick are being subjected to now because of the decisions of this board. And so I want to be really, really serious about this and let you all know that you bear some responsibility for that. Everybody on down from Governor Murphy to the local officials here who went along with this idea that it's okay to take this school away from these kids in the name of progress or in the name of redevelopment. And the people here, the families that are affected by it, and the people who paid attention to this are not going to forgive you for it. This was a really egregious, form of oppression that is taking place here. Our public schools should be, we should be investing in them, not destroying them. And it's unfortunate that the government apparatus here in Middlesex County has been so twisted that, this board and, like I said, all the way up to Governor Murphy would bless this idea. And, we won't know exactly what the impacts are going to be, but we can tell that they're not going to be good for the kids and families who are affected by it. So I hope that all of you take a drive and go to 40 Van Dyke Avenue and look at that building for yourself and see, look into, even if it's structurally sound, and please look into the neighborhood where you're sending these children by allowing their school to be demolished. We can't let this ever happen again, and I think that you all need to take responsibility for it, including Mr. Delgado, who I will be sure to find him at his new job and remind him about this because, like I promised, I'm going to keep coming back here and reminding you and holding you accountable about the impacts of that decision, because we tried to reason with you, we tried to warn you, we tried to let you know this was a bad plan and a bad idea, and unfortunately, we did not prevail, and now we're losing an asset that's so important like a public school. And I don't think any of you would be okay if this was happening in your community. So this is my community. I'm not okay with it, and I'm here to tell you that. And that's all for today.
Thanks, Charlie. All right. Do we have anybody else that wants to address the board? Any other hands up?
There are none, Commissioner.
All right, well, then that would conclude our meeting for today. Motion to adjourn?
That's what- he
Second
made a
motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
Jim,
sorry,
did we
Tony
miss something?
Tony Rosinski said he made a motion, so
Oh,
I don't know if you could hear. Go ahead, Tony, say it again.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
all those
I
in favor?
second.
Aye.
Yeah, aye.
Aye, aye. We are adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.